it has happened again. Absolutely entertaining, and even Instagram is not able to handle it. Like, unbelievable. It has once again crashed. Even I think the match intensity was so much that even Instagram is not able to handle it. So you could just it's just poetic, but what a game of cricket, and you have to give credits to how KKR played. I mean, from 31 for 5 to almost winning it. So we got Vignesh here. Relieved, buddy. What do you make of that finish? Before I ask you the main questions, just let me know. Just let me hear from you. What was your initial reaction after what Russell was doing in the middle overs?
I think it was really great relief. Seriously, like what a match this was! Like a fighting knock. I did not expect Pat Cummins to bat like with this strike rate. Actually, I thought he would hit at least 2 to 3 sixes, but at least maximum in that Sam Curran's over. I think it changed the game completely. 30 runs of that over, and that was the over where I was so confident that CSK would win if they take Russell's wicket, and then there came Dinesh Karthik, and I was confident there also. But Pat Cummins just changed in 1 over, and it was like so thrilling and so effective. And really, oh my God, this was like a night to remember. Yeah.
Well, certainly, and as we are joined here by Rishi, who is the KKR fan for today. Let's be honest, guys. Let's not be too analytical in this particular session. Let's just be emotional, because what a cricket match we have just witnessed. And at the halfway mark, when KKR were 5 down for 30, we were almost going to talk about what would be the road ahead for KKR and what could be the possible outcome of this tournament for them. But everything changed when the big man started hitting, and it almost looked like they could pull off a miracle. I think they did it in. I think Russell did it in Caribbean Premier League some years ago, and it was almost to be. But what a game! So Rishi, your thoughts on KKR's performance in the second innings?
Um, till the Russell show started. I guess what we have always believed is whoever plays good cricket wins the game at the end. So you could see that till the 5 wickets were gone. Nobody played good cricket. They all threw their wickets. There was no responsibility. There was no faith in themselves, because you see Shubman Gill hit a shot which doesn't have any responsibility. He comes in first ball, he just slides it and gives it to the third man, and he just walks out and score of 0 on just 1 ball. And then comes in Rahul Tripathi, scores some runs, and then again he goes off. Then Nitish Rana goes off. That was not required at that moment. I felt he should have taken it a little bit slowly, and then should have, because anyway Russell is there who can do that part of his. You don't have to do what Russell can do, because nobody else can do what Russell can do. I mean, Pat Cummins just showed us some glimpses of what he could do, but then at the top, I'm saying that top 5 people who they cannot do what Russell could do. So they had to do their work, but then unfortunately just lost it, and it was too close. Maybe if we had 2 or 3 more wickets, we would have got that steal from Chennai. But good luck to Chennai, and they played well.
Certainly, and I think even the Chennai fans would agree that that was a spirited performance from Kolkata Knight Riders, and all. I think almost all the team's fans who were neutral in this particular match, they wanted KKR to finish off the game. I think it was similar to what Sanju Samson was doing against Punjab Kings, but the finish was anticlimactic. And we will be talking about the two dismissals, Dinesh Karthik and Andre Russell. The way they got out, I think it was really like a Bollywood film, except for that typical Bollywood climax, to be honest. Because if this was actually a Bollywood film, KKR would have won it. But credit goes to CSK for handing them out. So Vignesh, I would just like to let you ask your questions about the efforts in the second innings. We'll be talking about the positives in the first inning later on, but let's just dive into the emotional roller coaster that we have just witnessed for the 1.5 hour earlier. So, having them 31 for 5, how confident were you, and what was the score that you were looking at, and were you thinking of the net run rate situation when KKR were 5 down at 30, and what do you think went wrong for Chennai Super Kings? Do you think that they missed someone like Dwayne Bravo in this pressure kind of situation, because we know that he loves to thrive under pressure, and maybe that some of the fans do believe that maybe Dwayne Bravo was missed in that middle over phases. But what are your thoughts about what has happened in the second innings?
I think I was really happy when Lungi Ngidi proved with his ball because he took 3 wickets and those were really crucial. And definitely the first 5 wickets, I thought they would reach at least 120, 130 at max and we would have won the match by 80 to 90 runs. So the net rate would be boosted like anything. So if RCB lose tomorrow, we will be in the first position. That's what my mind was thinking. But completely opposite happened. I did not know Russell was back into form, and that too we spoke on the stats, right? Like Andre Russell versus CSK, and it was so different and so difficult for us to even think Russell is back in form and against us. And it was really a roller coaster emotion type because it was seriously I could not handle like what happened because he started to hit boundaries everywhere, and then Dinesh Karthik also tried to play those really good shots with against Ravindra Jadeja, and that also we spoke. So I think everything came up today for KKR. But the only thing they missed was the opening as well as the top order batting because Owen Morgan could have played that his innings really well because that was the only part which I looked for KKR. And other than that, CSK, I think they tried too much to be like they tried to have a plan and they wanted to execute everything on the right place. But Shardul Thakur became too expensive and he was not in his right mind. Right mind, I think so. So he wanted to bowl in that wide Yorker area and he tried to bowl that. But I think he gave 6 or 7 wides at last. And even Sam Curran, he bowled really fully. He did not try to change the pace, which he did for Andre Russell's wicket. So I think they were confident enough to win the match, but yeah, and at last we won with that runouts.
I think it's fair to say that Vignesh here is actually so calm after such an impressive game put up here. And to be honest, if I was in your place, I would have been driven by emotions and I wouldn't have been able to get into the analytical part of the game. But really appreciate you, Vignesh, for being so analytical. Let's ask Rishi here. Actually, to be honest, I was preparing to ask you certain questions about Pat Cummins because I was looking forward to asking you whether KKR would be happy to include someone like Lockie Ferguson in place of Pat Cummins. But certainly that 50 in the second innings just pushed that question away from me. So your thoughts on Pat Cummins' impact with the bat? And do you see that this kind of a spirited performance would lift KKR's season from the position that they are currently in?
Definitely, Pat Cummins is not a player who can be replaced in the 11. He hasn't proved his worth yet with the ball, if people can say that. But then he has done his batting in the previous season as well. We have seen him show some glimpses of his batting in the last season against Mumbai Indians, where he had just hit Bumrah for 2 or 3 sixes, if I'm not wrong. It was in the last few overs, but then again, KKR did not have those wickets in their hand which they needed, so they lost the game from there as well. And so Pat Cummins' legacy continues. He scores in those matches when KKR is going to lose, but then he just proves his worth that he's a good batsman. So it is a positive to take away. If we have lost the game, but then it's not like there are no positives. Andrew Russell's batting is positive. Pat Cummins is a positive. Maybe his bowling is not a positive because he gave away 58 runs, but then he compensated those runs with his batting. So yeah, just hope that we get into the right place. And talking about Lockie Ferguson being replacing Pat Cummins, you say. So I don't think that that's a question because Lockie Ferguson won't give you that much bowling, bowling and batting which Pat Cummins gives, and even fielding also. Pat Cummins is a good fielder, I guess. He's a better fielder than Lockie Ferguson.
Certainly, and that is a good point you made about the fielding aspect because we know how crucial fielding can be in this particular game. We saw KKR dropping those couple of chances which proved out to be costly at the end, and who knows, maybe if Nitish Rana held on to that catch and even some of the catches were held on, it might have been a different result. But that is all to talked about later on. So let's look at the game from the beginning here. Earlier in the show we talked about the possibility that Ruturaj Gaikwad, who was struggling in the initial matches, and we talked about maybe this was a game for someone like Robin Uthappa to open, and because we know that he could actually have a positive impact at the top of the order. But it's good that CSK management decided to stick with Rituraj Gaikwad, and he certainly delivered at the top of the order. And also Faf du Plessis, man, what an innings! I think what has happened in the second innings, people are forgetting what kind of an innings Faf du Plessis had played in the first innings. I think he deserved 100. I think respect to him for taking that single on the second last ball. I think that shows what kind of a team player Faf du Plessis is. So Vignesh, your thoughts on the overall batting performance by CSK to reach to 220? I thought that was superb.
Yeah, I think it was like really a very good start from Ruturaj Gaikwad. The cover drives were really beautifully played, and that would have brought him a lot of confidence in him. And Faf du Plessis, last game he showed glimpses of that, and this time he delivered what CSK needed: a top order batting. And as I already we spoke right, CSK would aim more than 200, and we scored 220. And it was only because of the team effort. And the openers really proved very well. And MS Dhoni, he came up the order this time, and he wanted to play. Although there are two boundaries which uh, did not touch the ball, like touch the bat really well. That 1-6 proved every fan that he is back, and he is always back. He'll always be the CSK's captain like that. And Moeen Ali, everyone I think they contributed really well, but Faf du Plessis stands out. He has played a really very great innings actually, because it is the second highest highest score, and definitely what he has proved for CSK is that in the opening slot he can definitely not be replaced by anyone. So he'll be for the next, like for any maybe 2 to 3 years. So he is a customer who has proven again and again that he is definitely a player to watch out. And now
Certain.
he is back again in the run chase, like for the orange cap.
Certainly, and we can already see comments being come in, and we got some of the comments from Neha Jain, who is saying that dare anyone discard the great man Mahendra Singh Dhoni, and he did deliver. It was good to see him finally back at the number 4 position, because we have been talking about that in the pre-match show, whether batting in the top half would ideally suit MS Dhoni. I think he did a splendid job. Most of the fans would have liked him to go play a big knock, but I think he played for the situation, and I think he was absolutely brilliant. And also, I on this note, I would really like to send my prayers and deep thoughts to Mahendra Singh Dhoni's parents, who are actually being affected by COVID. So I really hope that they do recover and all is well in his family. So I think brilliant innings from Mahendra Singh Dhoni. We'll be talking about it more, but now let's just talk about KKR's bowling. I think, to be honest, I was really disappointed with the way how Morgan captained in the first innings. Some of the questionable changes, and I believe that they overused the short balls to CSK batsmen, and I think that proved out to be costly. And also, I think on some positive note in the first innings, I think Varun Chakravarti was brilliant in the first innings, but I wasn't really impressed with the way how KKR bowlers bowled, and fielding was actually poor, to be honest. So I think they deserve to concede 220 runs. So Rishi, your thoughts on the overall bowling and fielding performance by KKR? Where do you think they went wrong in terms of planning after what has happened in the first innings?
So first thing in their hand was when they won the toss, they should have taken to bat first. They should have opt to bat first. As I said before, in the pre-match show, that when you win the toss, you have to choose to bat first, and then you have to score a total which CSK gave KKR to chase. So that was the first mistake which I think that Owen Morgan made, that he chose to bowl first, and then again, as I said before, that whoever plays good cricket at that day wins the game. He did not captain the side well. Maybe he didn't use he didn't use those spinners well. He didn't use those fast bowlers well. Prasidh Krishna was going for too many runs. I felt he's a good bowler, but then using those good bowlers is also an art. And then if you cannot use him, then you're not a good captain. I think last year when Dinesh Karthik was captain, he was the captain for KKR. I think things were going great, but then I don't know what happened, and they changed the captaincy and gave it to Owen Morgan, and from there everything has been going down the drain. So hopefully we'll see maybe some good changes which are required. See, those catches aren't what you are supposed to drop so consistently. You practice in your practice sessions. You take so many catches, and then you come into the match and drop it. So it's not a good it's not a good impression you create on your fielding coach. Not just about creating impressions as well, but then it's about the performance, because catches win matches. It is a famous term which is used, and it has proved right now that you drop the catches, you lose the matches.
Certainly, and I think that was pretty much honest reply from Rishi here as a KKR fan, and I really agree with all your points. And I was actually going to ask you about Owen Morgan's place in the side. If he wasn't a captain, then would he have been dropped for the consistent reign of form? So, what are your thoughts on this?
I would certainly look for an option at the top order. We can get somebody who can bat up. Maybe we can go with both Shakib and Narayan playing in the squad. Maybe one slot can go up, and if Narayan can open, then we can send Narayan for opening with Shubman Gill or Nitish Rana. But then
Certain.
if not, then somebody can play in the middle order. They have good batsmen who can play in the middle order as well. But then it is the part of the combination. Owen Morgan at this moment is a captain of KKR, so they cannot drop him. Only if he wishes to drop himself, only then it is possible. Or if the management wishes to drop him, then only it is possible. But then at this moment, I don't feel that Owen Morgan can be dropped. The only thing is that he can improve himself and improve KKR's performance.
Certainly, and I do believe that Owen Morgan does have it in him, because he's a World Cup winning captain, and he will turn the season around for KKR. Now let's talk about CSK. Let's talk about that spell from Deepak Chahar. We hyped the fact about Deepak Chahar bowling in the power play, and if he gets the ball swinging in both direction, he's going to create havoc, and that's what happened. What a spell that was! I think that is where the game was won for CSK, and brilliant spell for him, and that actually shows what kind of an impact a bowler has in the power play. We talked about the fact that matches being decided in the power play itself, and that is why wickets in the power play are so crucial. So, Vignesh, happy as a CSK fan with the performance of Deepak Chahar in the power play, and do you see him as the leading bowler for CSK as well as India, because we know that the World Cup is on the horizon and we are playing two T20 World Cups in the next 2 years. So, what are your thoughts on Deepak Chahar, the bowler in the power play?
I definitely think Deepak Chahar will be one of the contenders like Bhuvneshwar Kumar who are going to play in this World Cup, because swinging conditions will really be a very great platform for Deepak Chahar to express himself. Because when you see the stats, there are 75% of the wickets taken by Deepak Chahar in the power play. Like he has taken 52 wickets in total. So 40 wickets in that, 39 wickets in that. It is a great number to be shown in the last 3 IPL seasons. And Deepak Chahar, what a bowler he is. What line and length he bowled to Owen Morgan, to Nitish Rana. I think he deceived every batsman there. Everything he tried to bowl was really swinging in. He was really beautiful in his line and length. And that was really nice to see. A player who has been bowling so really well in this IPL season, he'll definitely be one to watch in this World Cup coming soon. So I think the 4 wickets in the Punjab Kings was really crucial, because we just restricted them to 106, and this was really even more crucial because we really, if who could say, if Nitish Rana would have played that innings, then definitely this run chase would have been even more tougher for CSK to retain their old position back. So I think Deepak Chahar definitely deserves a standing ovation.
Certainly. And now that we are already 15 to 20 minutes in after the match has ended, we can all now just calm down and retrospect at the situation up ahead. CSK, they started off the season very poorly against Delhi Capitals, but now they are at the top of the table. So I think that is actually the sight for all the CSK fans. I think that is a beautiful sight, because they have suffered in the last year or so in 2020. So this is actually, I believe, the vintage CSK side that we have been used to seeing. So I think credit goes to CSK. I think that was absolutely brilliant performance, and I do see them making the top 2 at this rate. So I really hope all it works out in the end. Now let's talk about KKR. So Rishi, my question to you is, after such kind of a performance, actually it was a game of 2 halves. After the first innings, if I asked you, what do you make of the situation up ahead for KKR? I know that you are going to talk at least 95% negative and being pessimistic about the situation up ahead. But after what has happened in the second innings, are you confident that KKR has it in them to turn the season around and be the contenders for the top four, because this was a spirited performance which was appreciated not just by KKR but all the team management of all the franchises. So most of the opponents that are going to face KKR, they will have this match as a study material for them. So what are your thoughts as a KKR fan? Are you optimistic watching such a spirited performance put up today?
Uh, so yeah, first of all, you said that if you would have asked me that if after seeing those 220 runs, would you have thought that KKR can chase it down? I would have said maybe yes. I wouldn't say no, but maybe yes, because Mumbai pitch is a batting pitch, which we already saw. Pat Cummins scoring so many runs is surely Mumbai is a batting pitch. So no doubt that they would have got near to the total, maybe not chase the total, as we already saw that they got so close to the total, yet they stayed so far. So many positives to take away from this game. If the top order clicks off very soon, then KKR will look dangerous, and they might just clear the playoffs.
Certainly. And now let's just look ahead of what is to come for both the teams. Let's talk about CSK here. I'm not sure, but I think they are playing on Sunday after this match, and it's against the rivals, the top two rivals as of now, and it is going to be the South Indian Derby. And what better way to actually have this kind of a match in this particular season? I think that is going to be a cracker of a game against the Royal Challengers Bangalore, who are actually on a high. So, what are you expecting, Vignesh, from that match? Do you think that what has happened in the second innings, as I just asked Rishi about the same thing, do you think that what happened in the second innings will play a role in how CSK approaches the on the way how they bowl in against the likes of Glenn Maxwell and AB de Villiers against RCB on Sunday? So what do you think should CSK do in order to contain this kind of a high hitting players on Sunday?
I think usually they bowl really well, and Dwayne Bravo will be the main bowler who bowls in the death. But I think this time they did not have much of experience there, and I did not expect this from Sam Curran, because he is a player who thinks really well. He is so brilliant that he thinks different balls, and he thinks to change the pace up and down. So definitely I think this will be a one match thing. So definitely they'll take all the positives from this game, and I think RCB are a great team, because in Chennai hitting 204 runs, it is something which is unbelievable really. With AB de Villiers and Maxwell, what question you asked was really relevant for this situation, because if they both would have batted, they would have got 240 here. So I definitely hope that they CSK learn from their mistakes, and definitely they bowl in the right good length and line, so that they get the confidence back. Because Deepak Chahar, I don't have anything to say. I think he is a master in this power play. So definitely he can take the wickets, but definitely in the death bowling, I think CSK will have to work even more harder and try to bowl in the correct lengths. Not to try too hard to get a wicket, but try to stick in their mindset, and they try to minimize the scores and put pressure. After that, they can take the wicket. So I think CSK must be calmed down. They should take a little rest, and then I think CSK can definitely go to the next match.
Certainly, and I hope that anyone who is a part of CSK management would really love to hear your words, Vignesh. I think you summed it up perfectly of what CSK should do in order to rectify what has happened in the second innings. And I think talking about KKR, there is one interesting suggestion made in the comments by Omi. He's saying that KKR must bring Nareen up the order. Gambhir actually found a diamond, but they are ignoring it. So we have seen Nareen delivering these kind of performances under Gautam Gambhir, partnering with Chris Lynn at the top of the order. And now considering the fact that Shubman Gill is not delivering consistently since that India-Australia series. So do you think that is it a cause for concern for KKR's top order? Because we have seen Shubman Gill, he's actually there to provide consistency at the top of the order, but it's clearly not working in the favor of Kolkata Knight Riders batting lineup. So do you agree with Omi here? Do you think that Nareen should be opening the innings for KKR once again? Because that could be a good move considering the fact that you guys will be playing at the Wankhede for the next couple of games.
Yes, I definitely agree with what he's saying, but then there's one thing which I'll not oppose him, but then one thing that is truth here is that when Gambhir was the captain, he was a smarter captain, and the balance of the team was different that time, and balance of the team is different right now. The captain is also different. The mindset of the captains that time and this time is different. So the game plans are also different. So you cannot just judge them on the basis of that. But then yes, the fact that Naren proved it that time. So there's an option you can use it, but then right now they're saying that Nitish Rana can be used better than Sunil Naren, because Nitish Rana has that technique also, and he has that controlled aggression as well. But if you send Naren at top of the order, then out of 10 matches he'll give you 2 or 3 matches, and the rest all he'll get out and come. So that's of no use, right? Unless and until he's giving you 7 or 8 matches out of 10, and just messing up 2 or 3 matches, then you can trust on him. But then if he's giving you only 2 or 3 matches out of 8 or 10, then there's no point in trusting him. But then yes, what Omi said, or whoever commented there, is a good point, that Naren can deliver, and they are not using him well right now. Hopefully, maybe if he fits in that balance, then they'll use him well.
Certainly, and Vansh even agrees with your point about the fact that backing Gill should be the critical aspect for Kolkata Knight Riders, because we have seen the talent of Shubman Gill, and he will certainly come good as the season progresses. He's having a lean patch. I think most of the players do have such a patch going forward. So I think Gill should not be dropped. So Vansh is right, and he is rightfully agreeing with you. So let's talk about CSK, and let's talk about the main man. I think Ronak here just commented that Faf du Plessis got the man of the match award, and I think it's safe to say that he was the man of the match in this particular match. So, what are your thoughts on? Let's ask Vignesh here. Who was your keeper player of the match? And I know that if it's going to be Faf, then it's obvious. But who do you think was the impact player who changed the game all around in that second innings for CSK?
I think that is definitely Deepak Chahar's bowling. And I would go after that, when Russell started to hit, I thought Sam Curran proved really good, that why he's really a contender for the most valuable player for the season. Because definitely that wicket, Russell just lost it completely. He was standing, he was waiting for every delivery to come outside his off stump, but completely it was deceived by Sam Curran's bowling. And that wicket proved costly for KKR, because 20 runs would have been an easy target for Andre Russell. Someone like Andre Russell can just blow the ball to 6. So he's someone who is a really great batsman. And definitely I think Sam Curran taking Andre Russell's wicket is very, very, very beautiful to watch out, because that was a very important point time, because they came close to 10 runs per over, and they just needed 100 runs and more. So that wicket was really important. That's what I saw. And definitely those last 2 runouts, they really were proving that they were Captain Dhoni's fielders. So they were calm and composed, and they proved to do that. Last 2 runouts were really important for CSK to win this match, because we were not able to take Cummins' wicket. So we were only focusing on the non-stakers end, and we easily got the last 2 runs. I think Prasidh Krishna should have even more run. He should have run hard, because Pat Cummins was in the batting strikers end. He tried to go for the second, but Krishna could have run easily. So that was something I did not expect that. But yeah, CSK, I think they are, as already mentioned, CSK is a vintage team, and they are back in their color.
Certainly,
yeah.
I do agree with your point about the field placements and the thinking captain that Mahendra Singh Dhoni is. I think he outfoxed the tail enders that KKR had, and who knows, if Russell did not leave that ball, things could have been different for KKR. But let's not talk about it now. I think what has happened, and it was a great game of cricket. Last question, guys. Last question to Rishi. Let's have a look forward. We talked about CSK's next opponent, that is on Sunday, RCB. You guys are playing Rajasthan Royals on Saturday. So that is just 2 days from now, and you got enough time to retrospect of what has just happened on this particular match. KKR do have a great record against Rajasthan Royals. I think they just lost once in the last 5 or 6 matches played against the pink team from Jaipur. So are you expecting any changes in that particular match, Rishi, or do you feel that this current team that played today is the perfect balance to play against a struggling side like Rajasthan Royals right now?
Only if one change can be made, I'll get in Harbhajan Singh, because I just feel that Harbhajan Singh is really unlucky to miss out on this situation. He would have capitalized better than Kamlesh Nagakoti for sure. I trust Harbhajan Singh more than any spinner at least in Indian conditions. Because what he has done in Mumbai, nobody else can do it, and nobody else has done it also. So Harbhajan Singh is the only change I feel, and I don't see anybody else being replaced. Nitish Rana hasn't done anything wrong, just one bad inning. But I just hope that Shubman Gill gets his form back, and I wouldn't drop him as well. He has done wonders for KKR before. He has scored 400 runs in a season where nobody else was able to score and all was struggling. So yeah, Shubman Gill cannot be dropped. And again, coming to Rahul Tripathi also, he has been another bright aspect of KKR's top order. So I wouldn't drop him as well. And rest would be the same. I wouldn't drop anybody. Just that one change would be that I would try to get in Harbhajan Singh.
Certainly, and I do agree with your point because we know that Rajasthan Royals do have their troubles against the
Yeah.
spin. We saw what happened against CSK in that middle overs phases. So, guys, thank you, Rishi. Thank you, Vignesh. I think we just crossed 11:50, and let's face it, what a game we had, and we could go on talking for hours and hours about this match. But
Yes.
sadly, we have a limitation. So let's just call it off for the night. Let's just enjoy talking about what has happened in this particular match. I think for KKR also lots of positive to come from this
Yes.
particular match. I think the spirit of the game was proved to be intact for both the teams. I think that is going to play a massive role. So really an exciting season is building up ahead, and right now it is so difficult to predict who is going to end up in the top four. So it's going to be a season to watch out for. So thank you, Vignesh. Thank you, Rishi, for joining us. You have been splendid today and really loved hearing all of your thoughts. And thank you, everyone, for joining us in the comments and sharing your beautiful insights to ask this. But though these two analysts, I think you all have been providing us great support right from the start when we started off this initiative. I think because of you guys, we are where we are right now. And with your support, we are only going to keep on growing better and better as the season progresses. So thank you all guys for tuning in. I really hope that all of you have a safe night and take care of yourself and take care of your family. Stay home and enjoy the night and enjoy the season up ahead. Let us celebrate the game of cricket that we all adore. So take care, Rishi. Take care, Vignesh. Have a good night.
Thank
Good
you.
night, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.